And each day, my average post-meal glucose reading just kept coming down. When I called the endocrinologist, he said, Dwayne, that is an anomaly. And I said, but I've now got 7 days of data. He said, Dwayne, well, that's only 21 data points. I said, no. I tested my blood sugar 8 times a day. So I had 56 data points. And you're going to tell me all 56 data points are an anomaly? He goes, well, wait a minute, Dwayne, who authorized you to deviate from the program? And I said, my mother did. And he goes, oh. I said, do you want me to go against my mother? Doctor didn't know what to say. He goes, well, Dwayne, you understand that you're in a very delicate situation. You should be dead. And you're playing with your life. I said, well, aren't you doing the same thing? So he said, well, Dwayne, I want you to come in for a series of blood tests to demonstrate to you that you are in denial of the disease diabetes. And so they prepared and set up an appointment. I had to get the blood work done. And the purpose of this appointment was, first of all, for me to get, first of all, are there any diabetics in this in the audience? Ooh, okay. So all of you are familiar with the hemoglobin A1C test. The hemoglobin A1C test measures the percentage of glucose attached to the hemoglobin. And the endocrinologist felt that I was maybe making some mistakes with the data. And I said, no, I'm not making any mistakes. I said, my daughter's the one writing down the numbers, so anyone making any mistakes is her. You want to talk to her? And this is a beautiful thing because, see, I could just blame other people. And the doctor couldn't really attack me. I said, yeah, you want to talk to my mother? You want to talk to my daughter? Yeah, because these are some strong women, let me tell you. So I went in to see the doctor. It was probably about 3 weeks later. And by this time, my average glucose level was, let's see, 4th week. I think it was by the 4th week, my average glucose level was 97.5. Yeah. Now understand, I was still taking insulin now, 4 shots a day. And the doctor came in. I was in the room with the physician assistant. He said, Dwayne, I want you to take a look at this report. I want you to understand that you are in denial of a disease that almost killed you and should have killed you. And that however you, your daughter, or whoever is collecting the data, they're doing something wrong. Because the hemoglobin A1C test, you can't fake it. Now, anybody here that's a diabetic knows you can fake the fasting blood glucose test, just starve yourself for 12 hours. That's what the doctor thought I was doing. So anyhow, the doctor walks in with the report, or I'm sorry, he walks in, looks at the physician assistant, go get me Mr. McCullough's report so we can get this over with. And so the physician assistant leaves, comes back in with the report, gives it to the doctor. And this is when you find out how doctors really operate. They don't look at your blood work until the moment you show up. So he looks at the report. Yeah, Dwayne, take a look at that number. Well, that can't be right. I said, well, what's wrong? He goes, the hemoglobin A1C it's wrong. It's impossible. It can't be. This is incorrect. He looks at the physician and says, go get me Mr. McCullough's report. This report is in error. This is impossible. And I said, what's impossible? He goes, this reading is impossible. I said, well, what is the reading? He says, there's no need in me telling you the reading, Dwayne, because it's in error. I said, could you just humor a brother and just tell me what the reading is? He said, well, it says 5.5%, which is the high end for a non-diabetic. Your hemoglobin A1C should be somewhere around 7-8%. He said, so this is a mistake made by our lab. We're going to have to retest you. I said, we're going to have to retest me because it's an error? He goes, yes. And you know it's an error because, he said, because Dwayne, you're a diabetic. You're a type 2 diabetic. And the average blood glucose level of a type 2 diabetic in the United States of America is 175. Anywhere from 175 to 190, depending on which data you look at. So that translates to a hemoglobin A1C of 6.5 to up to 8%. So they reordered the test. A few more weeks went by, went back in. This time the doctor's running late, and he's running in, and he's getting a report. He said, okay, Dwayne, now take a look at this number. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I said, what's ridiculous? He goes, well, your hemoglobin A1C is it's 4.5%. That's better than mine. I'm not a diabetic. It's better than mine. This is not possible. I'm going to send you to another lab.